We are exactly where we want to be in this race. We have a lot of our votes coming in all across the state yet to be tabulated. We are going to win this race.
I am so grateful to all of you for being here and for standing with us here in Nevada. We are not done yet.
We always knew that this race would be close. So y'all just hang in there. I'm feeling good.
I want to thank everybody in the campaign staff, and let's wait for all the numbers to come in, and then we'll declare victory.
Yes, the midterm elections are far from over. 4 seats still up for grabs in the Senate: Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, and Wisconsin, all awaiting results. Joining us right now is Tennessee Senator, member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Senate Commerce Committee, Marsha Blackburn. Senator, great to see you. Thanks very much for being here.
Good to see you.
So assess the races for us. Where are we?
Where we are is waiting to see where these majorities are going to land. And Maria, I think it is significant that you see that many of these races that were going to be declared for the Democrats from the outset, from the moment they announced, that Republicans have turned those into very competitive seats. And that is going to send a message to the White House and to the Democrats that the American people want to see things done. They want the issues of crime, of inflation, of the border, of the fentanyl. They want to see these issues addressed. And I think the other lesson is you look at these races and you look at Florida and Governor DeSantis and Marco Rubio. You look at Wisconsin with Ron Johnson. You see when people talk about what they have done. These are all candidates that leadership has mattered. They've displayed that leadership. And they talked about what they were going to do. They talked to people while they were doing it, explained what they were doing. And then they've let these results and the outcomes be a part of what they have delivered on behalf of the people of Wisconsin or Florida or the American people.
Yeah.
And I know when I talk to Tennesseans, they want to see issues addressed.
I don't know. I mean, I would have said all of that before last night, but Senator, I'm not so sure. I mean, look at New York, where Kathy Hochul was just given an opportunity for a full term. You know, I mean, Lee Zeldin did his best to put crime as the #1 issue, to ensure that New Yorkers understood what's at stake. She didn't even want to talk about cashless bail until after the election, and they reelected her. I mean, and look at the border and Amida Flores ticket. You know, we thought the border towns would certainly go GOP because of the wide open border, 5 million illegals coming into the country on Joe Biden's watch, and it didn't. So what am I missing?
Maria, I think that people have, in those border towns, have traditionally been Democrat voters. But what we as Republicans have to do is look at the results, pick ourselves up, say we have to block much of what is happening at the border, what is happening with drugs and crime. We have to get back to the business of focusing on delivering for the American people. They want to see issues addressed. Many of these people have traditionally voted Democrat. As the Democrats nuanced their position and moved away from the White House, then some of those traditional Democrat voters came back to them. And we will see. I still think you will see Republicans hold these slim majorities in both the House and the Senate. We will wait to see what happens in Nevada, what happens in Georgia, the finishing counting there in Pennsylvania. We'll wait to see what happens in those races.
Senator, this is Mercedes Schlapp. Let me ask you, though, I know that, we've been addressing the issues, but really I think there seems to have been some sort of failure with the get out the vote efforts on the Republican side in some of these critical states. What's your assessment when it comes with what could have been done? And I'm not, in some of these states, for example, like Pennsylvania, where the Republicans suffered such a big loss.
And what we have to look at, Mercedes, is that, yes, the structure of these campaigns, making certain that these campaigns, that the congressional committees are putting that focus on the nuts and bolts of these campaigns. I have said so many times, yes, it looks like a red wave is coming. We welcome that. But you have to be sure this red wave comes to your state, comes to your congressional district, comes to your state house and state senate districts.
Yeah.
Because if you're not out there working, it's not going to be there for you. And that is what we saw happen.
All right, we'll leave it there. Senator, we will catch up soon. We so appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
You got it. Take
All right,
care.
Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn.